How will Nasreddin Nabi set up against Yanga in the Toyota Cup? Down there in Bloemfontein. Is it down? I don't know. Hello and welcome to Coast Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Amakusi Football Club. Okay, so we have Nasreddin Nabi who prefers to play a system of 4-2-3-1. That's his formation, and I think that there is nothing that's going to change because coaches tend to stick with their ways, even though there might be some tweaks here and there. But I think he will still continue playing in that system. But who is he going to pick? Starting with goalkeepers. Fiacre Ntwari was obviously not training with the team in Turkey, so I don't think that he will just jump in and start the game. So I do think that Brendan Peterson and Vuma are the ones who are going to be competing for that position. And I think actually that Brendan Peterson, because of leadership and overall, he is a better goalkeeper than Bruce Vuma. I think that Brendan Peterson will be the goalkeeper who's going to start. That's not to say, oh, Vuma sucks, he'll never play. No, but I just think that even I would personally look at Peterson and say, overall, he does do better than Vuma. Right back position, Riff Rosler, he's the only option available there, and I don't think there's a need for arguing there. Now it gets a bit complicated when we start talking about centre-back pairing and the left-back. Reason being, we know that Dove and Bongani Sam are both injured, and now in the press conference, Nasreddin Nabi said that Happy Mashiane is also not available. And by the way, it's interesting that he mentioned Happy Mashiane when he was referring to a left-back, which means he does see Happy Mashiane as a left back. To those people who have been saying, oh, he's not a left back, clearly the coach sees him as a left back, and that's the only position that they see him fit to play. So that's just a side note. But Mashiane is also not available due to personal reasons, which means that's going to affect who pairs up as centre backs. There is one option which is Nabi alluded to in a way, sort of, that it might be a player from development. But if it's not a player from development, you might actually see Kwinika playing as a centre back alongside Ukivin Msimango. And people are panicking. Oh, Kwinika. I mean, they're keeping him, guys. They have not sent him on a loan. They have not done anything. Clearly, they trust him. Chiefs spent a lot of money, and there are rumors that he's the highest paid player at Kaizer Chiefs right now after Dolly left. So then Kun is not there as well. So that means Ukunika is still trusted. So it might be alongside Ukivin Msimango as centre backs. And since Orashun Totally was also not with the team, I think only started training with the team in today's Saturday's training session, so he hasn't really gotten enough time with the club, which means Ulomfana Gazana, Uputile Utateya Hone Titlokwe, who has played as a left back at Botswana for his national team. We might also see him playing as a left back for Kaizer Chiefs since we don't have a left back. But obviously, as time goes by, there won't be a big problem because even Utotli might come in later on in tomorrow's game and then maybe we take off Kwinik or whoever we take off. So that could happen. Alternatively, they could play Ukwinik as a right back, play Frostlight left back. So there are tons of options that could be there. So personally, I wouldn't mind the back four that I just said of Frosla, Kwinika, Titlokwe, Msimango and then Titlokwe. Reason being, I just want to see Ukwinika playing under a new coach because I've been one of the people who have not been convinced by his performances at Chiefs, but I want to see him under new coaching to see why Chiefs bought him in the first place because he was doing something right for Steve Barker at Stellenbosch. Maybe perhaps there's something he can give at Kaizer Chiefs. Who knows? They let go of Ngobo, they kept him. Come on. Now, let's talk about midfielders. Who are the two holding midfielders that is going to play? The first one is going to be Yusuf Mat, the captain. Some of you might not like that, but no one, and I mean no one, seems to work harder than Yusuf Mat at Kaizer Chiefs. Like, that man works. And under good coaching, I'm hoping to see him perform. I really hope to see him perform because I feel like he's just one of those players who, while everyone was running around doing nothing, he's just the one who was targeted. Mart does nothing, Mart does nothing. But the whole team was not performing the whole season, but there were specific players, Abo Mart, Abo Stebe, were targeted. And there were a bunch of other players who were not performing, but that specific player was targeted. So I hope that he turns things around this season. Who does he play with? I think that since Umar might be getting played as an 8, the coach might be having an as a box to box. That's what I mean by 8. he might actually be, what's the word? He might be paired with Castillo who can sit, or he might be played with who's this other guy? He might be played with Ox as well, because Ox can sit deep. And people I know will get traumatized. Why? Mart is a 6. We did not sign Mart as a 6. We signed him more as an 8. Or should I say a second 6 in a way. But the second 6 who moves forward, who does not sit and cover everyone, but goes forward. So if that's how Nabi views him, then he's definitely going to play with the Ox. But if the coach doesn't view him that way and he thinks he can sit, then he will play him alongside with Samgelo Zwane, because, I mean, Samgelo Zwane will then be the one controlling the game, will be then the one moving forward, not overlapping, but adding numbers forward and taking those shots that we saw him taking when he was playing under Atazwan. And this is his big season, so I think that would be a thing. And particularly if the coach prefers to start with experience, then he will play Umart and Castillo. The only way that Ox starts the game is if Mart is seen as a player who can be a box-to-box, and in that way, Ox will be asked to stay. But what do you guys think before I talk about the number 10? And while we're here, if you're enjoying the content, please do make sure to like the video. If you are new here, please do subscribe. We speak everything about Kaizer Chiefs here. And by the way, if you're in Bloemfontein and you don't have a ticket, I have an extra ticket. So go on my Instagram, follow me, and you might get yourself a ticket. Now, another person is a 10, obviously. And I think this is one position that is heating up, and it's getting a bit exciting to think about it, because towards the end of last season, we had Umtu Shabalala playing in that position, but Umshini is back because there was some talks that he was injured, and it looks like he's in the best shape of his life right now. And I think that if you put him next to Umtu Shabalala is a very good player, but Umshini is just maybe 2-3 levels above him. And I would like to see Umtu Shabalala come in eventually, but I think that Umshini starts the game easy. Now, the front three, well, not the front three, the three behind the striker. No, I'm already on the number 10. Now I'm on the left winger. Left winger is now between Ashley Dupree and Umodi. And I will tell you why. I say that because Umodi was the one who was just bossing that position the whole season. But why are you saying Dupree there? I'm saying Dupree there because as a number 9, I don't think he starts. And I will tell you why when I talk about number 9s. So that leaves this left wing position to either Modi or Dupree. And I will tell you now, personally, given the fact that we are not even sure who's going to be playing a left back, and given Dupree's work rate when we're going back, and also his threat going forward, I think that Dupree should start that position, because pace-wise, he beats most defenders on any given day. So for me, that's it. But if you had a choice, if you're Nabi, who do you choose as a left winger, Modi or Dupree? As a right winger, guys, I would be surprised, because the alternative is if this player, which is Mfundo Vilakazi, doesn't start as a right winger, that would mean Modi would have started on the left and Dupree would have started on the right. But I think that from what we've seen, even the talks that Mfundo Vilakazi even scored in the preseason, I think he's definitely going to start that game, because it's also just more modern football for a left-footed player to play on the right and cut in and try to create some situations on that side, especially with Frosler overlapping outside of him. So he takes the ball, he runs, and then he can pass the ball to Frosler, can still receive, he can take shots in that space. I think it's just a no-brainer, but then again, I'm not going to start criticizing the coach should he not do that. Next up is the number 9, Enduranga Chivaviero. There were different reports about how many goals he scored when we won 5-2. Some said we scored 4, some said scored 3. But either way, now he's playing in a well-coached team that is creating chances. I think that he starts any day of the week. And obviously, you have Utuba on the bench, you can always come in that position. And you also have a flexibility of, you see that you are tired, someone is tired, you can take off. Who's this guy? You can always, if you want to play to print that position, you play him as a 9, you take off Uranga, and then you bring on Umodi on the left wing. So it just works. So we'll see. But what do you think? And who do you think Nabi will pick, especially on that left back position? Because I think it's one position where we are still unclear. Do let me know down in the comment section below. And once again, if you're in Bloom, I will see you tomorrow. Go follow me on Instagram. Let me know Guti you are in Bloom so that we can talk and meet, and we meet and talk, especially after the game, even before the game actually. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals al pelumo.